why would you be eating at 4 in the morning? I'm just mixing my first batch of creep feed. Max out, we're going to feed 1,000 pounds of creep feed a day. They're 4 times the size already since they've been born. It's Arnie, 4 in the morning. I'm just going to see what happened here in the last couple hours. We'll be nice and quiet, and we won't bother anybody. Huh? So far it sounds pretty quiet. Looks a little suspicious, but nothing. You think, why would you be eating at 4 in the morning? No, nothing. I actually had the windows open back here. And so you can see it's a little, well, I don't think the camera's picking it up. It's a little foggy. I'm a little curious at you right there. So I hate to get her up, but I'm going to go and get her up because I don't trust that. Hey girl, sorry about this. Hey. No, he's fine. Okay, check the next barn, and hopefully there's nothing happening. And I can go back and probably have a cup of coffee. Sounds quiet. Good morning. Okay, that was a wasted trip. But at least I feel better. And I don't have to check this side yet. This is Casanova's group that was brought in a few days ago. What are you doing, buddy? Anyways. There's a big dummy now. Anyways. quiet. Let me get out of here. A quick little check here. See if all these lambs are good. See, there's a little lamb right in that little haven little spot. That lamb's okay. Those two lambs are okay. Two lambs okay. Her lamb's okay. Okay. It's a nice feeling when you see them jumping around like that. You know they're doing well. They're getting lots of milk and they feel good. These two? How's that new feeder working, Mom? Okay. I guess I'm wasting your time this morning. I'm sure you guys want to go back to bed. Yeah, I'm not going to upset anybody. I'm going to get out of here. And that is it. There's no quicker way to wake up in the morning than walk into 5 inches of snow. Seven in the morning. I'm just gonna do a quick check, see what happened, and then we'll go and have a cup of coffee. Hey Ben. Oh man. Sounds quiet. Oh. There are the two lambs I was supposed to let out last night. Just put the lights on, get a quick check here. Good, nobody. Check one more barn. Oh. Sounds quiet too. Sounds real quiet. Oh, it's actually quite cold in here this morning. Hey girl. Ah, good. Have a quick cup of coffee, some breakfast, and I guess we're doing chores. Nothing happened. Ooh, somebody knocked that out last night. Well, excuse me. Okay. I'm gonna have a quick coffee, some breakfast. There's no hurry this morning to get out. Hey, Ben.
Right now, Arnie's filling up his grinder mixer.
Just moved a group of sheep over to the coverall, and I'm just mixing my first batch of creep feed. The lambs are some lambs are a couple weeks old, and yeah, they're nibbling around. I'm thinking they're looking for grain, and I'll show you what it looks like and how that's going to turn out as soon as we get it inside the barn. So that's what we're doing right now.
So Arnie's bringing the creep over here. We haven't seen too much of the cats these days. They seem to have pretty well all have disappeared. We just randomly see them. There's two lucky sevens here. Look like two extremely nice Dorsets. Everyone's going to ask you what the creep ration is. Everyone's going to ask you what the creep ration is.
Creep feed in the farm, and the reason why we make our own creep feed, because when we're maxed out, we're going to feed 1,000 pounds of creep feed a day. So it's really beneficial for me to do my own product. So what this mixture is made of is about 2/3 corn, 1/3 barley, and with this 2-ton batch mixer, about 740 kilo bags of beans, and we use our own beans in the farm. They're sent away, and they come back and roasted as flakes, and it smells like peanut butter. Actually, it has a real nice smell to it. And we have our own corn storage, and we store our own barley. So that's quite an expense. But if you're feeding 1,000 pounds a day, you can probably get a little bit involved with this kind of program. So the barley goes in whole, the beans just go in flaked, and the corn goes through the hammer mill. Because I want the corn is too big a kernel, we want the corn broken in half. And the reason why I didn't want to feed any barley at all, but when I talked to my nutritionist, he recommended to stay with the barley for sure, because corn has no fiber. Excuse me, and barley has fiber, and little lambs need the fiber. So that's why we're feeding 1/3 of that mix will be barley, that the lambs get enough fiber in the diet. And that's an old mixer. I'm going to guess that could be 40 years old. They can be purchased anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000. You can buy those old mixers, your old hammer mills, and that's what we do. And what I like about this too is we don't use any molasses. Because if you look at molasses, it really doesn't have any value at all. Molasses is a way to get rid of dust and to cover up feed that's probably not up to snuff. You can cover it with sugar. It's like a cake, put icing on it. So molasses really doesn't hold a lot of value. And the people that buy pellets, you got to realize, I think years and years ago, they told me that I was paying $35 a ton to make pellets. And I'm going to guess today, it's probably about $100 a ton to make the pellets, which actually has no value at all either. You're just making pellets. And what I always found out, the feed dealership I was talking to doesn't do pellets. Because what he didn't like about the pellets was, if you got a pellet form brought into the farm and it was made into a pellet, legally, if they say it's a 40% protein, they can put anything in that pellet you can imagine, as long as they hit the 40% protein level. So that he thought there was a lot of feed put into the pellets that you probably wouldn't want to feed. But as long as it was up to that certain grade, it was like that. So he doesn't do any pellets at all. That whole mill does everything custom mixing with no pellets. And so that's what I've learned in my career with feeding grain. The beans are sent away to the mill, and they're in storage. From there, they roast the beans, flake them, and as they're coming over the conveyor, they spray the decox on the beans.
Oh, it's on the beans.
Yeah, it's not in the pellet. They actually apply the spray right on when it's going on the conveyor. It's actually sprayed right on the beans.
Okay.
And that's how they're applying it.
And what's that for?
The decox is for coccidiosis in the lambs in the barns.
So it's just an extra little medicine they put on the feed so that the lambs don't get.
Well, you already treat the lambs for cocci when they're born.
That's right.
But
I'm thinking of not doing it anymore.
Well, I was going to quit doing it on the feed.
Yeah.
But it was only costing me something like $5 a ton.
Which is cheap compared.
$7 a ton, which was nothing. And why would I take the chance for $7 to have an outbreak?
That's right.
So I just wouldn't do it. So it's still being on. So we're adding quite a bit of decox to it. And that's my story of my mixer. Okay. So we were talking about we make our own creep feed. We talked about that a few minutes ago, and the part we left out is it's about a 16 to 17% ration. But what we do in the first 50 days of their birth, to get them to eat the creep feed even faster, we add soybean meal to it. It's a byproduct from soybeans. It's high in protein. So the grain ration I make is about a 16 to 17% ration. And when we pour the soybean meal over top, we're probably getting up around the 18% meal. The lambs are already eating it. They've only had it for a couple hours, and they're already nibbling it. It'll take them about a week to really learn how to eat it. And they're getting lots of milk from the mothers, so I don't expect them to eat a lot of creep feed for the first 20, 40 days before they get more demanding, and then they're going to start really eating the grain. But right now, we just keep a little bit in there just to keep it fresh, and they'll be nibbling on it, and tomorrow morning I'll just see if they have been eating it or not. But they're all exploring the little area here. So right now we moved another group of Suffolks over today. You've probably seen that. So this barn now is one quarter of this barn is full. The next group that goes over will push all these to the back, and we'll put up a portable wall, and they will stay in that one quarter until they're weaned, and then we'll start filling up the front quarter, if you understand that correctly. So, but you can see some of these little lambs here. See that one there going right through the panel there right now? See the two big ones there? Like, they're 4 times the size already since they've been born. Yeah, they're doubling their size probably every week to 10 days. Anyways, I'm just doing chores. Just thought I'd mention that about the protein level in the grain mix we're making. It's a 16 or 17% ration. With the soybean meal, it's probably running around 18. And once they get 50 days old, we cut the soybean meal out. Then they're just straight grain. Okay? Talk to you later. It's 8 o'clock tonight. Just doing my night checks. And that ewe right there is just going to have a lamb. So I have to do some chores. So during chores, I'm just going to check her here. And hopefully she has a lamb before too long and I can get back in the house. So I'll tell you how it goes. I'll talk to you shortly. I don't know if I got everything or not. When the lamb came out, the head was just folded backwards. It probably would have been okay, but I was just nervous. So I just lost my focus for a second there, and I just straightened out the lamb's head. Lamb's talking to her already. She's talking to the lamb. It's a bonding thing, eh? I'm just going to pick the lamb up and move it over there where under the light where you can see it a little better. So I'm just going to pick him up for a second. Hey, Mom. Don't be afraid. Hey, Mom. There you go. There you go. There you go. It's a big lamb. She could easily have another one. They can hide those lambs, but it's a pretty big lamb. I don't know if it's a male or female. So, I'll wait for a few seconds here, but I think I've got to bring the lamb into a jug and look after it. And I'll just see if she has another one there. I won't check yet, because if she does have another lamb right now, as we're speaking, she's pushing that lamb towards the entrance. As you think it's not happening, but it is happening. So I don't want to reach in there too far. So I'm just going to take this lamb out, I think, with her. And by the time I get everything settled down, before I leave the barn. So my first clue would be, she has no placenta. So I'm pretty sure she has another lamb. So, see, this mother has no trouble with all of me being here. Nice and calm. Yeah, someone the other day kind of made the statement that we baby your sheep. I think sheep should be babied and cared for and treasured their whole life. Why not? That's the whole purpose. They give so much for us. So why would you not baby them? But, like I say, I'm going to probably take this lamb in now, so I'm going to quit recording. And I'll tell you how it turns out when she's in the jug, okay? Well, there she is. Got her in the pen. Nice, clean, dry pen. Got hay tonight. And she only has one lamb, but that's pretty normal because that lamb's way bigger than what it should be. It's a male lamb. Just fed him. I dipped him. He looks fine. He's taking a little break right now. And she does not have another lamb, which is fine with me. So I think I'm going to call this a night. I'm going to head to the house. And I think it's about 9:30, 10 at night. So probably back out around 1-ish. And if anything happens, I'll let you know. Have a good evening.